Hello, and this is my presentation for Operation Potty and my short guide to living with 6 dogs. Now, for my action plan, I've learned from Operation Asha that every small amount of effort adds to the bigger picture. And at my house, there is me, my mom, and my sister, and we have 6 dogs. So they all are our responsibility. And you can't be selfish and one-sided when one person looks after only certain dogs and chose their favorites. It shouldn't matter because they all live in the house, so they all need to be treated the same. So I've been working on trying to improve our situation now that we are back up to 6 dogs. We did have, our numbers have been fluctuating on how many dogs we've had, but now we're at 6 again. So I've been trying to help get the dogs on a schedule. That way they can keep down the noise, they can use the bathroom, they can get fed, and ultimately that they don't wake up my daughter when she takes her naps. Now, for execution, I have to approach the situations differently with my mom versus my sister for 2 main reasons. Because my mom is afraid to be assertive and dominant with the dogs. And on the other hand, with my sister, she barely acknowledges that the other dogs exist. She has her favorite that she only pays attention to. So when I work with my mom, I try to teach her social cues and to notice how and when to determine if she needs to intervene, if they're playing too rough, or if they're bullying each other. As far as my sister, I have to remind her to let all of the dogs out of the cage so they can go to the bathroom and not just her main one. I also have to remind her that they have to go to the bathroom, especially first thing in the morning, just like a human. If they have been in the cage all night, the first thing they do when they get up is they need to go outside. So I pretty much potty trained all of the dogs so they will hold their bladders while they're in the cage. But that can only last so long if I'm the only one that's taking them out and I'm not there. Now, my sister, she's still pretty young-minded and a little immature, so it's harder for her to get the big picture. Let me move this down a little bit so we can see. So with that being said, I have to find ways to get through to her so she doesn't immediately take offense and feel attacked and defensive when you mention something that she isn't doing properly. For my reflection, the insights I'm learning about AI is to find the core strengths of my sister and my mother and to make sure they're familiar and comfortable with dogs in general. Now, my mom still deep down is afraid of dogs because when she was a child, she was bitten by a small dog. And so from then on, she's uneasy about any dogs, whether she knows them or not, and regardless of size. And with my sister, she is more familiar because she's grown up around dogs, but her setback is her single-track mind, which isn't entirely her fault. She is the baby, so she's been spoiled into not really having as much maturity and responsibility. So those are things that I have to consider when I'm trying to work with the dogs and my family. They don't have the same passion and interest that I do with animals. So the best I can do when it comes to either of them is to be patient and give frequent and somewhat persistent reminders so we can stay on schedule with the dogs. even if that includes breaking them into groups and separating them into different cages. That way we can be consistent as a unit and the dogs are all equally taken care of.